Guys, what is up? Pilot Manny here with the RC Plane Addict. I want to welcome you to my channel, a place where I get to share my passion and addiction to flying these RC planes. So today's pretty cool. We're out down here in the shop, as you can see, and I'm thinking we're going to do something today. Yeah, it's really too cold to fly, and honestly, we got to keep the hobby going. So we're going to have some fun with it. I got some Waterslide decals, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. Check this out. Alright, to start this process, we are going to need a word program for you to get your text and any kind of, fonts that you have in the process of being printed. So I just use Google Docs. It's very easy. It's free. I have a Google account. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new page here. I'm just going to call it, I don't know, Waterslide Fonts. And I'm going to go ahead and, so what I do is I put my logo and my YouTube name on my planes. So RC Plane Addict. And what I want to do is I want to kind of match my font as closely to my brand as I can. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just open up my my docs here, and I'm just going to get my font from my files here, and I'm gonna just take a look at what I have and see if I can match that font as close as possible. So here is my logo that I've made. Unfortunately, I didn't make this logo using docs, so I have to kind of like see what they have and match it like appropriately. It's almost like this block lettering, like a metallic kind of lettering here. And so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of sizing it. I use one of these two in front of text to kind of just put it anywhere I want. And so this guy here, I don't know, we'll make it like, let's start with a size 20. Maybe even, let's go bigger than that. I think it's going to need to be bigger than that. So all of this is just like your first draft kind of deal. You're just kind of trying to see how big is this text going to be, what it's going to look like, print it, cut it out, and then we'll kind of put it on the plane to see how it looks. All right, so I made the font kind of big. I'm going to make it, let's make it bold. And let's go now into like different types of text we have here, the fonts here. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to match this like block lettering here the best I can to it. And don't be, I guess, dissuaded by the amount of font that they have here, because you can always add more fonts, and I've noticed that there's just this huge list that you can get in Google Docs with fonts, and it's incredible. This is, I guess, just the more common kind of font that they have, but it just goes on and on and on. It's actually really, really cool. So this here is starting to look really close to it, and I actually kind of like the way that looks, but it did get kind of smaller, so I am going to size this up, maybe like 55. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to print it and see what it looks like on the plane. All right, so I went ahead and printed out and cut out some of my samples here. So here is like a really old, I guess, first version sample, but it's really good to see like the size of the font just to see how everything looks. So on this plane, I would love it to have maybe something printed maybe right there. So that looks like a great size font. It's not too big, it's not too loud, it's very subtle. I like that. Likewise, I want to put something on my brand new Sirius as well, and maybe put the branding like right there. So it's just very, again, subtle. It's on the white, it stands out, it looks great. So here are also my brand logos. So I went ahead and printed a bunch of different sizes just to see what they were going to look like. I would love something maybe on the tail section of the Havoc here. So I was thinking maybe putting something like right there. And that looks like a pretty good size too. It's just right. And this is like a perfect canvas too, because it's honestly just bare paint. So I could put almost anything on here and really logo this plane up, but not go too crazy. And maybe even put a nice big brand logo here on the wing, which would be kind of cool as well. So I'm just thinking about it out loud, see what I'm going to do. Of course, you won't see any of this white bordering. The print gets printed on like the clear water slide stuff. So all of this white will be gone. Likewise, I'll have to do something with this logo here, or my font, so that it stands out on the black. It obviously can't be black, it has to be white. So I got to think about that. Here on the Sirius, I would love to have my little logos as well. So I printed out a couple really small ones here and I cut them out just to see what they would look like. And I'm thinking maybe like up here, or maybe even down here, somewhere just, very small, out of the way, but it doesn't take away from the beautiful finish of this plane. And maybe even in the future, I would put like a little Pilot Manny here along underneath the pilot, which would be really cool in black. So I gotta think about that in advance. All right, so I love the way all of this looks so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and run off these prints on the slide and get them going. All right, so we're back here on Google Docs. I love the way this font looks, the size of it and whatnot. So I went ahead and I just duplicated this size and made the most out of this page. Now, what I want you to look at is just how I maximized out using as much of this Waterslide paper as I can. I mean, these sheets are kind of expensive, so you're gonna wanna kind of use up as much as you can from them. So I'm making a bunch of them. I know that for each plane, I'll have 2 slides for my name. So I went ahead and doubled them up. So this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly a 5th plane if I decide to use that red, but I'm not quite sure yet. And I went ahead and to put my name on the Havoc, because I need that white against black, I highlighted this, made my font white, and then gave it a highlight color of black. So that's how I went ahead and made this look the way it is. So when it prints, it's gonna have that nice white finish to it so that I can just slide it right onto the black background and it should just blend in beautifully. If it doesn't work out too well, I always have the red, which kind of matches up with the red on the plane. So, you know, I have that option as well. And then of course I have 2 other planes. I'm thinking of putting this on the Sirius and then also on the Mustang. So that'd be kind of cool too, to have my name branded onto those planes as well. So I'm super pumped about that. All right, let's get these printed on the slide and I'll show you what you do next. All right, so now that I got everything printed here, as you can see, I got a bunch of my my decals on this Waterslide paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with this Ace, just every run of the day mill premium clear finish. So this is just basically clear acrylic. I got gloss enamel, dries pretty quick, 25 minutes or less, and I've already put a coat on here. It looks pretty good. There's a little smudge there, but I think that's run off from the printer, not from the acrylic. But I'm actually really checking these out. So these are really good. So we're gonna put these on my planes today, and yeah, I'm gonna hit it with one more coat of this and let it set, and then we'll get going with the application. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna hit this pretty quick with this stuff. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area whenever you're using this, and it's probably a good idea to wear a mask too. You don't want to inhale any of this stuff. And that's really it. So I'm gonna give it a good 25 minutes to dry, and then we're gonna get right next to the next part. All right, let's cut these bad boys out. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think the only one we have to worry about is that top one there. Should all come off pretty easy. There you go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to just start soaking them in water. So I got a little bowl here of some warm water, and I'm just going to kind of put them in the water and just let them start soaking for a few minutes. That was some interesting reaction of them kind of shrinking like that. I have myself a little spray bottle here of water that I'm going to be using to just make sure that the surface is wet and accepting. It's also going to help the paper slide around, and I'll have some paper towels as well to kind of just clean off all the mess here that I'm about to make. So we'll give that a few minutes in the water and then we'll apply it. All right, these look great. These look like they're ready to go. Yeah, they're sliding right around on that. So I'm going to come back here. And I know I said I was going to be doing this towards the front. But you know what? I think we're going to go back here with this. And kind of just put that right down. And there you go. That looks solid. Really cool. All right, we'll just blot it around. Get all this excess water off. And that should set up nice. Sweet. All right, let's do the other side. So you can see this stuff is so easy to apply. And all I have is just warm water here. And there's nothing really else going on. I just kind of get it on the foam and just slide the paper right off. And I get to slide this around to where I want it. Take my paper towel and just blot it down, dry off all this stuff. There you go. That looks good. Looks like it came with the plane, boys. Nice. All right, let's put the logo on. It's cool. This stuff is ready in like a minute. We'll just stick it right there. Nice. Blot it. Make sure she looks good. Solid. Do the other side. Oh boy. And this plane is done. Very cool. All right, dry it off, and I think we are done with the series. Very cool. All right, let's add some decals to the Mustang here. Easily one of my favorite planes. So I know I said I was going to put it up high, but I think I'm going to go down low with it and kind of just settle it right down here against the seam. I think that's going to look pretty classy. There we go. Nice. Go ahead and do the other side. Just slide it right off. Nice. Let's take a look at it in the light. And we are done. Nice. So I'm not going to be using these only because those are clear and it's going to end up like gray on gray and it really won't be able to be seen. So a few things learned here. Again, this is all trial and error and that's part of the fun. So you get to play around with it, but I'm definitely going to revisit putting those Waterslide decals with, I guess, bolder print, maybe even with like a white, outline around the print so it kind of stands out better, especially on the Havoc. But yeah, man, so now I got some Waterslide decals with my name on my planes. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to see more of this, and share with some friends if they think they're interested in putting some water slide decals on their planes. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheers.